Hello everybody, it's Jacob Vile. Today I got a video that I normally wouldn't share, but you know, anytime I do changes or anything to my build, I always share as I go. And today I'm going to be working on some roundovers that I'm changing to the system. I'm going to add a little bit more cosmetic tape over some of this stuff. Just want to say up front, anybody that's new that doesn't know me, hey, I'm not the best when it comes to looks, and I don't really care about looks. And of course, it's all about you when it comes to your system. So this is kind of the concept I'm looking like that I'm going to be doing for this. So that'll be almost like the finished result. And then I'm going to have something that tapes over all of these edges to seal this off, because that's where some of the pressure's escaping. And I saw somebody in the comments a couple months ago suggest putting a roundover there. So I'm going to be adding one of these PVC roundovers here. This one was originally right here. Since it's the perfect length, I can cut one of these later. I'm not going to spend the time cutting. I'm just going to literally add and plug. Right here is what it's going to look like. And then this one's going to slightly shrink my port area. But of course, since I mentioned with the subwoofer break-in concept, I'm not really going to be doing a lot of tuning or changes to the box or port until after I get my official fully broke-in sub. And then I'll retweak the port. But until then, that's what I'll be working on in this video. So that's what the concept's going to look like. And if anybody's curious of why I'm doing this, so for one, you can gain or lose with this. Normally you'll gain if you really fine tune it. But when it comes to ports, whether you're a ported enclosure, 6th order or 4th order, you want to have some form of smooth surface for you to escape. So even if you were to have wood and you have some kind of roundover, it's better than a flat corner surface, especially when it comes to rigidity and airflow velocity. And most of your pressure comes out of this part. Since this is your output, this is the most important part of your enclosure. So what I'm literally going to do is, this is going to be in here. I'm going to zip a couple screws across here, put my drill in there and zip across the back. And that's kind of how I get it in place, and then I'll tape over the rest of it and it'll look just like this, completed, and you won't even really know. Of course, unless you know what you're watching and you've done it before yourself. So that's how that's going to look. And down here's the same thing. The reason I have this pothole spot here is so I can access my emergency tire spare in case I need to get to my spare. So that's why I have that open there. Otherwise, it'd be all covered. But since I'm taping, I'm going to tape over this, and if I need to get to it, I could just break the tape. And hopefully that right there will help a little bit with output. There's no telling what it'll do, but that's what it's going to look like right there. It's going to line up just like that. And make sure this is symmetrically the same length all the way across so it looks professional. And then close it up. And line up in the back so you can kind of visually see. Like I said, guys, this is not the prettiest by no means, but you know, the concept is what matters. And this is the kind of stuff people do to get louder, by adding these smoother surfaces, these rounding surfaces. There's not a major need to do the one at the bottom. But if there's something I can do to seal off these little cracks and edges here where it's leaking, and for me to maybe make a wave for that sound wave when it's traveling out to round around that wood when it slopes up to the back to the front, that might help. It might be a couple tenths, it might be, I might even lose, you never know. But unless you try, you don't learn. So that's what I'm working on right now. So if y'all have any questions about it as I go, just feel free to ask. Sometimes I'll literally vlog and just talk as I work on this, so you guys can just listen to me baffle, give some car audio construction instructions, and then of course asking y'all. So let me know what y'all think so far and what I'm working on, and y'all kind of see the goals I'm working on with this to see where I get. One thing that I've mentioned multiple times is one of my major goals with this is to get a 53 out of the system. I don't know if I'm going to get a 53 on the glass, but I think I'll be able to get a 53 on at least the kick score for sure, hopefully. But there's no telling. I've even seen people say that I get a 55 out of it, but to be honest, for the cone area, it's not so promising for what to be expected out of this, but you never know. Always shoot for a good score, and from there you never know where you'll get. But really excited to see how this comes and turns out, and I appreciate y'all's support and questions and everything that y'all have given me feedback on as I do it. There we go. All right. Another thing that I've had questions on that people have asked is when am I going to be playing it more and demoing it? And I'm like, I mean, I do it in my own time. I don't really do it on video, but I do actually get to enjoy my system and play it. I just don't really do a lot of videos with it playing. And while it's breaking in, it's just fun. But yes, I can do some more videos working on it to get it to show y'all what the system is doing. But it's really hard to show you kind of flex and all of that stuff, the damage it does to the vehicle, because it really doesn't do much. It's a small system. It's a single 12. It's not like a really fascinating build like I used to have when I had the 415s. I got a lot of screws in here. Here you guys watching, look at my little pothole puzzle of screws and gadgets and things that I use when needed, all in one little spot. But yeah, yeah, I used to have 415s, and the main reason, just vlogging, the main reason I actually got rid of the 415s was just, I don't really want to have a big money pit where I have over $10,000 in a system. I mean, I got more important things I gotta prioritize with my money. So now I can say I have a system that's not even but a couple thousand, not even that really, and just a fun side hobby. And I don't have a huge money pit involved in it. And I don't have to worry about if something blows, I can easily replace it and repair it. While if something blows in a big system, you got a major problem. And of course, finances is not always the best for that, depending on your situation. But that was the main reason why I got rid of the 415s, is just not to have as much money in a big system. So that's how it's looking so far. I'll tape over it, break that stuff off. And I'll put screws in the other side, but you guys can see how it looks there. It's pretty solid. Now let me put the screws in the other one. So if y'all have any suggestions on what I can do to get better output, let me know. This suggestion I'm doing right here, right now, is from somebody, one of you viewers, watchers, the supporters that actually gave me that suggestion. So I really appreciate it once again. The guy that suggested, hey Jacob, you should do this to it. So that was definitely appreciated to see how it goes. I'm expecting hopefully some good results with it. There's no telling, you don't know your results until you try. But you don't know until you try. So, and the only way I'm gonna know is once it's fully broken in and I start fine-tuning my port, getting it into where my vehicle's resonance frequency is, and it's not gonna be there until after I know for sure the sub's fully broken in. And then now the next question is, how do you know when the sub's fully broken in? The only way you're gonna know is when you first you can calculate playtime. You also can tell whenever you're pushing on the suspension, and you can see a difference in reaction. And then you'll also know by the lows, the drastic change in output on the lows. So say before I would only play around 32, 33 hertz, and when I turn the subsonic, I don't touch subsonic, but I start noticing that I'm able to play 24, 25 hertz. And you don't really see the subwoofer really having that cone control like it had. It's bottoming it out a lot easier. It's not really holding that lower frequency without major max excursion to get to a point to where your subwoofer will only flex a certain amount, but when it's broken in, it starts getting a little bit more X max. At least in my case, for sure, I've noticed that. So my subwoofer has a 33 millimeter X max, but right now I'm probably only seeing about an inch, so around 25 millimeters. But once I get it fully broken in, I'm going to be able to hit that 30 to 33 millimeters, especially on the low end that I struggle to get to right now. It could be because it's in a sealed box too. It also could be because of the port area and cone control. And there's a lot of variables, but just the general concept is there. There's really no true way to know when it's broken in. I would say around 20 to 25 good hours on the sub knows for sure it's broken in. And then you're also going to go by the stuff I mentioned earlier with X max, how your lows response is. You could tell your subwoofer moves more X max. It's handling the power a little bit sloppier. So as the subwoofer breaks in, you're going to notice that you're louder with less power too. So normally that's because the subwoofer doesn't take as much thermal capacity, or not thermal capacity, but yeah, power capacity to reach its full potential normally, unless your enclosure is built smaller like mine is. My sealed section is a little bit smaller, which leads to a little bit more cone control for me to have a little bit of a louder system, if that makes sense. Whoops, screwed that one a little crooked. But yeah, I'm glad to help with questions ever if you guys just ask in the comments. I might consider going live in the future. If anybody's still watching, let me know if you want me to go live and I'll do it sometime. I've never done live on Facebook or YouTube before, just because it's like, I don't see the reason, but if somebody would enjoy it, I'll do it. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. You guys can kind of see the concept I screwed in. I got like 5 screws on the bottom, 5 on the top. I got 4 here, and I'm going to put another 3 in the back. Not too many holes to puncture the box. And you can kind of see how it's starting to shape. Like I said, it's not the prettiest by no means, but if this will give me a couple tenths of a dB, then I'll be happy. So just little roundovers here and there. Might even consider trying to block off right here and see if it changes, but I doubt it. That's it. See y'all next time. Jacob, I'm out.